Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So, Kevin Durant has requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I'm going to be honest, this came kind of as a total shock. I really didn't think he was going to leave Brooklyn once Kyrie Irving opted into his player option to come back next season. But I'm going to be honest, man, it's surprising, but it's not surprising. The reason it's surprising is because I thought for sure if, Kyrie Irving stayed, then Kevin Durant would try to stay and maybe work it out. But on the flip side, it's kind of like the Brooklyn Nets, believe it or not, are one of the worst teams in the East now, I guess you could say. I can't say they're the worst team, but they're a lower seeded team in the East now after the things that have transpired this past season and what the Atlanta Hawks just did and stuff like that. It's like the Nets really kind of had no other option really than to kind of retool this team. And when you look at all the things that have happened over the past season, I mean, Kyrie Irving not playing because he was unvaccinated, then you had James Harden leaving, and you acquired Ben Simmons of all people, who something tells me Kevin Durant was not overly thrilled about the idea of getting Ben Simmons. I mean, James Harden, I think, has a more all-around game than Ben Simmons does. Yes, Ben Simmons is a better defender than Harden, but when it comes to shooting and creating a shot and getting to the basket and everything, Harden, I think, is the better player at the current point in time. But it just, even with the stuff with Ben, the injury stuff and the idea that he doesn't want to play, you have, the mental health stuff, and it's kind of like, I think Kevin Durant looked at it all and was like, you know what? This team is kind of a clusterfuck, and the two teams that he wants to go to apparently are the Phoenix Suns or the Miami Heat. Those are the two teams he would like to go to, but, Sean Marks, the GM of the Brooklyn Nets, has made it known that they're going to take whatever the best offer is for Kevin Durant. They're obviously going to shop around. But it's just the idea, man, that, Kevin Durant is, he's getting older. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say he's old, but, there's a couple teams I could see getting in the mix for Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant, for me, has always been a guy who I don't think can really lead a team to a championship. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting out of Kevin Durant at this point. It's like, after we saw what happened against Boston in the playoffs, it's like, Boston locked down Kyrie and Kevin Durant in that series. And yes, they still scored, I think, like 20 a game, but it was on horrible efficiency. And one team that I would like to see get in the mix for Kevin Durant is the Boston Celtics. And I know there's people who are out there that are going to be like, no, Kevin Durant would never do that a second time, go to a team that beat him. But he's done it before, and I kind of think one of the better fits for Kevin Durant would be the Brooklyn Nets. And the reason I say that is because they have Jason Tatum, they have Jaylen Brown. Obviously, Jaylen Brown was the better player in the playoffs, I think, for the Celtics. He was the more consistent player. But you could maybe put together something interesting for Kevin Durant if you're the Boston Celtics, right? Like, you could include Jaylen Brown in a trade and, maybe, what's his name, Grant Williams or whatever. Like, you could put together a bit of an enticing package to maybe acquire Kevin Durant. Another team that I look to maybe get involved here is the Denver Nuggets. They're a team that I'd like to see get involved. The problem right now with the Kevin Durant trade is nobody knows what one looks like, and if Miami's going to trade for Kevin Durant, they would have to include Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and probably Kyle Lowry. And it's like, at that point, the Nets would have a team that consists of Ben Simmons, Kyle Lowry, and Kyrie Irving, and I just don't see that working. I don't see that happening. So it's just the idea. There's a lot of possibilities out there right now for Kevin Durant. I mean, if he were going to go to the Phoenix Suns, I would assume it would have to be a package that includes DeAndre Ayton and Michael Bridges, whatever. So yeah, like there's there's a lot of teams out there that I think could use Kevin Durant. It's just he's getting paid such an astronomical amount of money that it's going to be like, you're going to have to put a couple decent players together and probably some picks in order to get Kevin Durant. Like, I could see maybe 2 or 3 good players in a first rounder or 2 first rounders for Kevin Durant, because that's the type of player that he is. But it's just like, at the end of the day, man, the Nets really had no choice. I mean, Atlanta got better. Toronto's a couple pieces away. Chicago's 1 or 2 pieces away. Miami's not getting any worse. Boston's not getting any worse. You know, the Milwaukee Bucks are always going to be a good team. You know, so long as they have Giannis, they're going to be a playoff team. So I look at that division, and it's like now, I mean, just as of a couple minutes ago, Bradley Beal just agreed to like a 5-year, $250 million extension with the Washington Wizards. So the Wizards also made promises to Bradley Beal, and the Wizards are kind of, you know, trying to make their team better. They just acquired Kristaps Porzingis this past season. They have Kyle Kuzma. Rumors are they're trying to bring in Malcolm Brogdon. They just traded for Will Barton and Monte Morris and dumped Ish Smith and Cantavius Caldwell-Pope. So every team's getting better, and it seems like the Nets and the Lakers are being stagnant. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But honestly, I don't know where KD's going to land. I don't even know what a Kevin Durant trade looks like at the moment. But definitely interesting. Some of the rumors are the front office of the Brooklyn Nets felt like a Kevin Durant trade was inevitable. They felt like he was going to demand a trade no matter what. So that just leads me to believe that Kevin Durant wasn't happy in Brooklyn. I don't know if it was the idea of acquiring Ben Simmons. I don't know if it was the idea of prioritizing Kyrie Irving over KD when KD was eligible to play and Kyrie wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of things there, and I kind of feel almost like it's a respect thing behind closed doors that Kevin Durant's not happy about. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see, but definitely going to be a very interesting NBA offseason, to say the least. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.